So what does rock bottom for Frank Jameson look like?
Well, my insurance, funny enough, I had been going to too many rehabs, and they stopped paying out for treatment centers in the state of California. And I don't know how the policy works with Regents, but they were basically, I talked to someone, and they did my verification of benefits, and they're like, they could still send you to a rehab in Utah, and Regents would pay for it. So I basically got on a plane with an interventionist, and we came up to Utah, and I went to treatment up here. And I didn't stay sober. So I ended up meeting a girl in treatment. Great, highly recommend it. We thought it was going to be happily ever after, and we left rehab together, and pretty soon we were living in my truck, homeless on the streets of Salt Lake. And so for the next year of my life, basically all of 2017, I was living in Salt Lake. When we came up on some money, we'd be living in the good life in a Motel 6. But for most of it, it was, living in the back of my truck under a camper shell, like in a Wal-Mart parking lot or a parking garage. And we were doing what we needed to do to survive. We were selling drugs, we were stealing. And again, this is another line I thought I'd never cross, from doing the heroin to doing the IV heroin. Well, I was like, I'm never going to steal. Well, I started stealing from, you name it, Target, Walmart, Home Depots, running little scams, fraud, hustles. And then I was like, but I'm definitely never going to steal from a person. Well, towards the end of that, I was breaking into freaking houses in nice neighborhoods when it seems like, the husband and wife were at work, and I'd break into the house and steal valuables, jewelry, freaking a laptop. And I was just so far gone from my moral compass and who I thought I was. That I was just resigned to the fact, like, this is my life. I'm not going to get better. I've been to too many rehabs. I haven't talked to my family, my mom, in months. They've cut me off long ago. I'm like, I'm either going to die a junkie, or I'm going to go to prison, or even worse, I'm going to live this way for another few decades. I didn't think there was any hope for me. I was too far gone. At a certain point, I almost lost my foot due to IV heroin use. I had injected in my foot. I missed a vein. I should have gone to the hospital immediately. It started swelling up, turning red, but I waited 5 days, of course. And I walked into a ER room in South Jordan, and there was like 15 people in the ER room. The nurse took one look at my foot and wheeled me back in front of all those people. And she's like, we need to get you in surgery like yesterday. And so I didn't realize how dire it was, but they called their emergency orthopedic surgeon. He came in, and the first thing he says is like, I'm going to do my best to try to save the foot. And I didn't know I was in danger of losing it. I was like, can't you just give me some antibiotics and drain it? And he's like, we're past that. This is septic. This could spread to your heart. Like, you could die. We need to amputate the foot, but I'll try to save it. I started freaking out and thrashing and screaming nonsense about how I'm going to sue this hospital if I lose my foot, blah, blah, blah. And anyways, they gave me a shot to calm me down. And then next thing I know, I woke up from surgery and I still had my foot. But I was in that hospital for 17 days, and I had 5 surgeries on it to save the foot. And I have it today. I still have really pretty bad scarring, but I have full use of it, full strength, mobility. It was pretty miraculous. But it was crazy. Even in the hospital, I had a stint, right? And I was using it to shoot up heroin. I was still having my girlfriend at the time bring me in heroin.
Into the hospital.
Yeah, because the morphine
through the stint that
they were giving
put
me wasn't enough. Like, they were giving me high doses of, Dilaudid and morphine and all the good hospital drugs, but I was such a bad opiate addict that it wasn't enough.
Wow.
I would still, like, it would be cool for 30 seconds. I'd feel a little rush, and then I'd be like, I need to get high. Like, I'm still, like, going through withdrawals kind of.
That's a first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
And so your girlfriend was sneaking in heroin.
Yeah, and I was using, like, the IV stent that they gave me in my chest to shoot it up.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Crazy. And
wow.
So after 17 days, they set you free. Where do you go?
They set me free, and I freaking go back to living in my truck and doing this over and over again.
So you went back to what put you there?
I remember it was like February of 2018, and there's snow in Salt Lake, and I remember just being on crutches. I'd have what did they call it? It was like a vacuum, like a wound vac on my foot. And I'd have this, everything would be in a brace and all bandaged up in a wound vac, like sucking fluids out to this little pouch. And I'd be on crutches, like going to find my dealer, like.
Wow.
And, I'd, maybe give it a few weeks. My girlfriend at the time ends up getting arrested for petty theft charges. think she was stealing clothes from Ross or something like that. And I remember one night I was in my truck in a parking lot. I had no gas, so I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't turn it on to get heat. I had no heroin. I had no money. And by this point, I had negative money. I owed various financial institutions thousands of dollars. I was in debt, like $15,000 to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, my loan company for my vehicle, all this stuff. Anyways, no girlfriend, no gas, no heroin. It was snowing sideways, and I just started crying in my car. And I called one of the only people I knew that was living in Salt Lake at the time that wasn't living this, junkie criminal lifestyle. He actually worked at I think it was Wasatch at the time, recovery center. His name's Don Coleman. I called him, and I was just crying. I was like, I need help, Anyways, he gets me into a detox facility, and that was like the last time I ever used was my sobriety date's April 10th of 2018.